Thank you very much. And, Jason, there's another guy who doesn't think his shit stinks. All right. So I'd like to start off today with a quote from the British historian, great philosopher, Monty Python. Now for something completely different. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm not Reggie Watts. No, actually, that's Reggie Watts. And when I was asked to speak at the panel, I thought it was funny, because I looked at Reggie Watts and I said, there's a guy that's really funny. I know of Reggie Watts. And then I looked, wow, I said, look how much hair he has. I mean, it's like 7 by 7 is kind of, it's like the dimension of his hair, or he has enough hair for 7 people. Then I realized what Jason is speaking about, and I thought, it's kind of like a new Disney Wizard of Oz casting. It's the guy with no smell, the guy with no hair, and the guy with no comb. All right. So we're kind of like bookends. So here's what I've done. I created Headblade in 1999. Time magazine called it one of the top 10 designs in the world. I've been shaving my head for 22 years. So won some awards. It's in the permanent collection at MoMA. So I've been working in head shaving, hair loss. You know, I get the old, oh, I'm not Sly. I'm kind of like the Sly Sperling. Not just the president, I'm also a client. But in creating Headblade, I created head care. Like everybody's familiar with skin care, they're familiar with hair care, but this is, essentially, this is head care. So what I want to talk to you about today is like words and what they mean, because everybody knows bald, they know balding, you know, they don't call me bald. That's kind of my whole message today. So where am I pointing? All right, so another Monty Python quote, to bald or not to bald. When I got married, I married my ex-wife in 3 weeks, and after that short little trip, and I think, wow, in 7 minutes I was probably engaged. But we went to the Forum. Does everybody know the Landmark Forum, which is kind of a self-help thing? You go away for the weekend, and you learn all about yourself. So one of the takeaways was everything in life is empty and meaningless, and it's empty and meaningless because it's, I guess, empty and meaningless. Which, when you think about it, it's like when you're a kid, you say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But they really do. You know, so there are words that, let's say you're in a relationship, you say, oh, that's not what I said, or that's not what I meant. You know, some words are interchangeable. Oh, did I just click that? Okay, yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like if you talk about an administrative assistant or secretary, flight attendant, stewardess, you know, you get into that edge where it might not be politically correct. But if you say black or African American or Oriental or Asian, you know, there's connotations and there's things that people carry with them. I mean, you say Oriental's a rug. So there's very specific things and words that you don't want to say. So any great marketing person or advertiser knows that like a great word or a great tagline can turn water into wine. So what I want to talk about is in the 22 years I've been shaving and the 12 years that I've created Headblade, there needs to be market segmentation between bald and balding and shaved. Because I really do take offense if you say I'm bald. So I want to put it in, wait, I'm going. Okay, so this is, it's not a real highway, so don't get worried. But this would be, what I'm trying to explain is the difference between bald, balding, and shaved. So this is the bald highway. Think of anybody with hair, you start with a certain amount of hair, you start losing your hair, you are balding, okay? And you'll be on this highway, it's kind of like driving through Texas because it never ends. You know, Reggie Watts will never be on this highway, but it's the idea of you're balding, you're losing your hair, but at any time you can take the exit, right? The exit is shaving. So once you shave your head, you're really no longer bald or balding. And bald has so many bad connotations. You know, you hear about all the things, would you date a bald man? You know, people talk about short, fat, and bald. You can't make fun of certain demographics, but anybody that's bald, you can talk about how funny it is. So this is the idea of getting off that highway. So everybody knows Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, technically he's still balding because he has one hair on his head, right? And it's like he's the victim. He's the poor sap. You know, he's the guy that Lucy lines up the football and he always goes to kick it and she pulls it away. You know, it's funny because look at the little bald man. And it's kind of like Benny Hill would make fun of the little bald guy. So I'm kind of tired of that, right? So here, look at, I don't know where I'm pointing this. Oh, look at this. See, you know, Charlie Brown, shave his head, Charlie Brown turn that frown upside down. So you have the difference. Like, he's a superhero. Look, Charlie Brown's no longer a victim. I'll give you another example. Oh yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. He doesn't want to go back to bald, see? All right, look at this. Another example would be, this is Michael Chiklis in the commish, right? This is the Shield. So there's a difference between no longer a victim, no longer balding. Obviously, I have other famous people, Andre Agassi, who had that, I don't know, it was Hair Club for Men, but he was balding. Bruce Willis, John Travolta, everybody knows Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan effect. So this is the idea. It's like the media loves to talk about, oh, these guys are balding. What do they do? They wear wigs, they get toupees or transplants. And then look, shaved head, these guys are amazing. Okay, but who is bald? There's also a subset of bald guys who, they're on that highway, they like being bald, okay? That's these guys, right? These guys say, I'm losing my hair, I'm not gonna get a transplant, I'm not gonna shave my head, I am bald, right? And everybody knows Larry David, they watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, great show. Larry David agrees with me that there is a difference, so I'm gonna play you a little clip.
They knocked on the door, they said trick or treat.
Yeah, they said trick or treat, and
you had treats.
Yes.
I was giving out candy all night, but I don't have to give them candy. They don't deserve candy, and I don't deserve this. Bald asshole? That's a hate crime. We're a sect, we're a group. You can't call us bald assholes. What if we were gay? There would be gay asshole? That's a hate crime.
But it says bald asshole, it doesn't say really bald.
Okay, but we consider ourselves a group of people.
Sir, I'm bald. I'm not offended.
Well, with all due respect, Officer Burt, you are not bald, okay? You have chosen to shave your hair. That's a look that you're cultivating to be fashionable, and we don't really consider you part of the bald community, with all due respect.
Okay, so how I want to end is just to get you, get all of the advertiser marketing, understand about the segmentation, okay? So there's a difference between bald and balding and shaved. And I shave my head, but there's no real good term. I call them headbladers, you can call them head shavers, but we need to figure out what that term is because it's not bald and it's not balding. For those of you, I noticed some people in the crowd might look better with a shaved head. This is an iPhone app that we have that's free. So feel free to just download this. You can shave your head. I should probably tell Reggie Watts to see what he looks like too. But thank you very much, and let's just understand the difference.